What's going on, fellow A-Plusers? It's your boy, Adam Perez. We're back, baby, once again with a brand new news update for you guys in regards to DC Studios. That's right, DCU, or I should say James Gunn's DCU, is back in the news this week. As of yesterday, we actually wind up having a huge announcement that our Supergirl has officially been cast. Now, if you've been watching us here at A-Plus Hero Report, guys, we've been keeping you up to date on all the short list of actors that have been dwindling down over the couple of weeks. We started out with three: Millie Alcock, Meg Donnelly, and Amelia Jones. I think last week, as this past weekend, I should say, on Hero Report, we literally just talked about coming down to the two finalists, if you will. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, we finally have an announcement. This is something that actually kind of really surprised me, if I could be quite frank with you, because I did not expect Supergirl to be cast as early as it certainly has, considering where it was announced on the list that James Gunn gave us for Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, a year or so ago. I felt like production on something like this might start rather further down the road, if you will, but it seems as though Supergirl may in fact be popping up in Superman Legacy at some point in time. We'll see if that certainly holds true and accurate. That's not confirmed, but what is confirmed is our new Supergirl. So let's go ahead and dive into this news, shall we? This actually comes to us from Deadline.com. There's also another great article over on Hollywood Reporter if you guys want to go ahead and check it out for yourselves. But according to Deadline, Supergirl, new Woman of Steel, is the House of the Dragon's Millie Alcock. Now, to be quite frank with you guys, as we've talked about this shortlist continuing to dwindle, the person that really was the forefront for me at least, was Meg Donnelly. Probably the fact that when I look at her, I can easily see and envision a Supergirl. And I think it also helps the idea too that she is the voice actress for Supergirl in some of the most recent animated films that we've gotten. And with James Gunn being very open about, hey, you know, some of the actors that we hire to do some of the animated work or voice acting work, an example, Creature Commandos, they're going to also be transported and be used as live action characters as well. And so I just felt it was rather fitting with Meg Donnelly already having that role as Supergirl in the voice acting realm that she certainly might make the cut. But that's not to say that I'm not a big fan of Millie Alcock. Don't misquote me or anything like that. I've been a really big fan of what she's been capable of in something like House of the Dragon. She wasn't my first choice, but to be quite frank with you, now that she's been picked, I can kind of see why James Gunn certainly did. So let's go ahead and get into this article, shall we? It says, House of the Dragon actress Millie Alcock has landed a coveted role of Supergirl in James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DC universe. Australian-born Alcock played the young princess Rhaenyra Targaryen in the first season of Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon. She beat out Coda actress Amelia Jones and Meg Donnelly, the latter who voiced Supergirl in such DC animated movies such as Legion of Superheroes and Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. There's been buzz that the new Supergirl movie will appear in Gunn's Superman, which is about to go into cameras in Georgia, but that's not 100%. I believe filming begins in March, according to Rachel Brosnahan, who's going to be playing Lois Lane out in Georgia. But again, this article quotes, we're not sure if she's going to be in Superman Legacy or not. What we know is that she will appear in a DC-based project before starring in her own feature, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. No director has been announced for Supergirl. So as of right now, we're still waiting to see who is going to win that one out. James Gunn, as always, when something is not true, he debunks it. If it is true, he praises it and confirms it. He says, this is accurate. Millie is a fantastically talented young actor, and I'm incredibly excited about her being a part of the DCU. First, I became aware of her in House of the Dragon, but I was blown away by her varied auditions and screen tests for Supergirl. She embodies Kara as envisioned by Tom King and the writer Anna Noguera. It is interesting to point here, Anna Noguera had originally, back in 2022, been hired by Warner Brothers to write a Supergirl script for the Sasha Calle Supergirl that was eventually going to spin out of the Flash movie, but they clearly still enjoyed her script so much that they decided to go ahead and bring her back in to maybe do another rewrite or another script. I don't know, hell, maybe it's the same script for all I know. I have no idea, but it is interesting that Anna Noguera continues along with her writing here for this character. And look, I gotta agree with James Gunn here. When it comes to Millie Alcock, she is a fantastic actress. I really enjoyed her range. I really appreciated what she was able to do in something like House of the Dragon. And also, just to pinpoint, the fact that James Gunn has openly talked about the idea that this is going to be a very different Supergirl than what we're certainly used to, right? She's not going to be sort of like her cousin Superman, that sweet farm boy from Smallville sort of thing. He really emphasizes the idea that this Kara is somebody that not only had to watch her planet die, but sort of survived on this rock and watched a lot of her people and her family members really die in just tragic and horrible ways. So there's definitely, I don't want to say a jaded, but definitely a scarred sort of Supergirl that we have here. And I think just when you look at Millie Alcock, just her facial features, what she's capable of bringing to the screen in something like House of the Dragon, you can definitely see sort of a Kara in there somewhere that definitely is struggling and going through some things. So the fact that he also brings up varied auditions, they clearly have probably had her go through a plethora of different emotions and feelings, and she probably just really blew them away. So I honestly think at the end of the day, this is probably the best choice for James Gunn. I think sometimes we might get upset with ourselves, or not with ourselves, but get upset when maybe the director or they don't necessarily pick the people that we want, but that's what we're envisioning for the character. It may not necessarily be what the script is asking for. And so when it comes to Millie Alcock, she certainly prevails above the rest, and I really cannot wait to see what she does with this particular movie, man. So I do believe the article from Hollywood Reporter did mention she may pop up in one or two sort of projects kind of going forward before Superman, or I should say before Superwoman, Woman of Tomorrow. But again, that is certainly not 100% at this point. But we'll see where she certainly pops up. If not in Superman Legacy, where could she certainly pop up? We'll definitely have to find out. But I think the Hollywood Reporter article also mentions the idea that they may go into production of the Supergirl movie by fall time or by the end of the year. That feels kind of fast to me. So I don't know if that's going to turn out to be true or not. If anything, I'm still looking forward to The Authority. There's a couple of DC television series like Lanterns that certainly still has to go into the project. So I'm not quite sure of how James Gunn announced the movies and TV series, if that's how they're going to be dropping timeline wise, or if they're really moving pieces around. And hey, however further along certain projects are, they're going to be working on those right away. So a writer is confirmed. Supergirl is confirmed. We're waiting on a director, but so far it seems like smooth sailing for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. But look, at the end of the day, these are just my A+ opinions. I want to know yours, guys. What do you think about this particular casting? Was Millie Alcock your front runner for this particular choice? Did you have somebody else in mind? Again, she wasn't my first choice, but that's not to bag her and say that I'm not a big fan of her work and what she's been capable of doing. She's extremely talented and extremely deserving of this role, and I really cannot wait to see the kind of magic that her, James Gunn, and Anna Noguera really put together for this film. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below, guys, and we'll definitely talk to you guys later on this weekend on another live episode of A+ Hero Report this upcoming Sunday. So until then, do me a big favor, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.